Alright, so what do we got going today? Today is a requested video to change Android 6 to Android 7. So let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to use my little test subject here, my GT1 Ultimate from Beelink. And not only are we going to change Android 6 to Android 7, we're going to change the launcher to a different launcher, and I'm going to show you how to get the default. I'm also going to modify, not me personally, somebody else did it, was kind enough to do it, to modify the Lighthome launcher and get the Kodi button and all that stuff, but we'll get into that when we get into it. Now, when you change from Android 6 to Android 7, it's going to wipe everything out. There is no way you can save any files. So everybody, get yourself a little dongle, format this to FAT32, and copy everything out of here to here. There shouldn't be that much. I don't know what you guys are doing if you got a lot of stuff, a lot of pictures. Back it up. You have to back it up. So we'll just set that right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do all this stuff. Then after the video, you guys let me tell you my opinion on what everything is, because spoiler alert, I've already done it. It's taken me quite a few many times to redo this video because I had to do this, I had to test that, I had to test this, and blah blah blah. So I don't know how choppy this video is going to be. I'm sorry for if it's going to be weird and choppy, but hey, everything works. So no more talking, and let's get to the monitor. Alright, so here we are on my computer. Let's see if this is going to work. I have 3 folders. Android burning tool, the image file, and then Lighthome I'm going to deal with a little bit later. So the Android burning tool, there's a couple of places you can find it. You could either go to Freak tab, and I'll leave the description at the bottom, or the Beelink Forum website. I just went to this GT Ultimate 6.0 update post, but you can find those two areas. You can find this Android burning tool. So you would just I just have the 2.0.5.15. I'm just going to double click the exe file. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. You know, before that, let me go back. Let me right click on it and say run as administrator, just to make sure. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to put English for me. Say next. Next, next. I'm going to create a desktop icon. I'm going to install it. And then it's going to have another device driver install, and install the World Cup thing, whatever the heck that is, some USB thing, and I'll say finish. And I'll say finish. Alright, well, let me close this out. So let me show you Android 6 to 7. It's like an image file, and that's the one we're going to put in. So let's hope it all works out. So I'll right click on this USB burning tool, and I'll say run as administrator. Say yes. And then the second category here, because all in Chinese, I'm going to say English. Alright. And then I'm going to, let's see here, import image file. Desktop. So I'll wait for that. Well, you know what? My mistake, because I'm reading the notice here. It says make sure the device and the hub is connected. So let me close this out. Let me connect my TV box, the USB. Let me try this again. Alright, so let me try this again. So I'm going to run this as administrator. Now, so yes, I unplugged the USB because I saw a video on YouTube, and let me try it their way. So I'm going to go to the English, I'm going to say File, and I'm going to say Import Image. Alright, now I'm supposed to put the paper clip in the reset hole and then the USB, and let's see if that activates it. Alright, let me interrupt this my own video here. So let me show you exactly what I'm doing. Now this is for the Beelink of how to get the program into, well, the firmware of Android 7 into the Beelink. So let me show you what I need to do visually, because just the video is not really showing you anything. So maybe your box, if it's not a Beelink, has the same way of doing things. I don't know. So basically I had to go to eBay and I bought a USB to USB female couple of bucks, wasn't very expensive, and it's got this computer that I've been using, this Lenovo, no big deal, whatever computer you want. So I put the USB in the USB, obviously, right? So in order to do the 6 to 7, you don't put any power to this. The USB is going to power this up, and the paper clip is to hit the reset button. So what you got to do is, on the Beelink, is when you turn it over, see if you can see, there's a little hole right there by my thumb, and you put the paper clip, hang on one second, you put the paper clip in the hole and you hear a click. So can you hear that? So what you got to do is you've got to put the paper clip in the hole, click it, and then put the USB into the Beelink's USB while you're holding the paper clip at the same time, just like that. So you've got USB to USB connection, paper clip in the hole for the reset button, and I held it during the installation. I don't know if you let go of it or whatever, but I held it and it worked. Alright, let's get back to the monitor. Run as administrator. Yes. English. Import. Try the paper clip. Let me go import image. Let me try this again. I'm leaving the paper clip in. Maybe that was the problem. So I'm still holding the paper clip in the hole. Alright, it said successful. Alright, so what we've got is now we've got Android 7. So this is now the portion of, let's talk about launchers. Now this is going to be kind of like a two-part where me personally, I like this launcher, which is called the Lighthome launcher, and I'm going to show you how to get this launcher to have Kodi as a button and to have this new launcher work 100%. If you just want to change the launcher, I'm going to show you that too and how to set it up as the default. So it's just going to be kind of a mishmash of different ideas. So the first thing is, let us go to the Google Play Store and we're going to install ES File Explorer. Hang on one second, let me get my internet working. Okay, so let's go to the Google Play Store, and what we need to get is we need to get some sort of File Explorer. Now I like ES File Explorer, so if you want to follow exactly what I do, that's what I download, is ES File Explorer File Manager. So let us just put that on the home page. Okay, so there's the ES File Explorer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install another launcher so you can see how I install the launcher, and then I'm going to set it as a default so you can see how to set it as a default. And then I want to start dealing with the Lighthome launcher. So hang on one second. To me it's my favorite, which I've already mentioned, but some people like this launcher but they don't like this big button right here because they like Kodi. So if you go to this website, and I'll leave a link in the description to FreakTab. Now on page 9, which is right here, if you scroll down, I'm going to be mostly focusing on this Lighthome GT1 URB. And if you scroll down a little farther, let me see here. There it is. So it's number 128 post, and this is where you download it, that GT1U. Alright, so you need to download that if you want the Lighthome launcher with the Kodi button. So let me close out of everything. I'll clear all. Alright, so obviously to get another launcher you would just go to the Google Play Store and pick anything you want. A lot of people like Nova, and for me, hang on, for this purpose I'm going to go the Square. Let's see, what is it called? I'm losing it, but I got it together now. Okay, so I'm going to install Square Home.tablet old version. Now I'm just doing that just to get another launcher set in. So I'm going to go install. I'm going to accept. Now this could be any launcher. I'm just picking Square Home. Now, when you install a new launcher, which it just says installed, if you pick the home button, you will get a pop-up that says just once. So I'm going to say Square Home Tablet, and now it's just, you can just say okay, just cancel. And so there is the Square Home Tablet. Now I want to put ES File Explorer because what's going to happen is I'm going to modify the Lighthome launcher. So pick that, and I am going to find my ES File Explorer. I'm just going to drag and drop in there. So you've got to make sure you have the Play Store settings and ES File Explorer. Now if you hit the home button, you see how it's just once again and then there's always. So I'm going to go to the Lighthome and I'm going to show you how to set the other launcher as a default or any launcher as a default. So you're going to go into the settings and you're going to go into Droid settings right there. And then you're going to go into more settings. So now this is going to pop up. Now we're going to go into apps. And then you have a gear icon at the top right. And now you see you've got a category that says Home App, no default home. Well, when you click on that, you can say you want Lighthome or Square Home as the default. So if I pick Square Home, now it says Square Home Tablet at the Home app. If you click on it again, it says default right there. Now if I picked Lighthome, it would say default on the Lighthome, and so on and so forth. I'm going to cancel that. So watch, when I close everything, I'm going to clear all. Now it's set as a Square Home launcher. If I hit the home button again, it's going to go right back to the Square Home launcher. So that's how you set the default launcher. So now let's talk about the Lighthome launcher and get the Kodi. So I showed you the website, the Freak tab, and you download it. Now let me show you how we're going to change that. You're going to go to ES File Explorer or whatever file explorer you like, and you have to make sure that your box is rooted. That's very important. So now for the ES File Explorer, you need to make sure that you have Show Icon on Folder, Root Explorer checked, all of these checked, and Show Hidden Files checked. But Root Explorer has to be checked, and Show Hidden Files, very important. So let me show you what I downloaded and what's the verdict on some of these Lighthome launchers. Now, this Lighthome K1, I'm going to cancel it. Lighthome _ K1. I try to install it, and it kept giving me an error every time you shut down. Now the Lighthome BK GT1 ULT, I installed that, also crashed when you shut down. Now this Lighthome GT1 URB, that is one that's been working for me, and I'm going to show you how to install that. So, how are we going to do this? What you're going to do is you're going to have to rename the file that you download, which is this file right here. So you pick and hold, and you say rename, and I am just going to remove the GT1 URB, and I'm just going to put an N in front of it so it's going to be different than the Lighthome. So now I'm going to pick and hold it because I need to copy it. So to find the Lighthome, you need to go to Device Directory, then you need to go into System, then you need to go into App, which right there, and then we're going to go into Lighthome, which is right here. So, and then we're going to hit the paste button, and now the new Lighthome is there. So you have the original Lighthome and now the new Lighthome. So what you need to change is the properties of the new Lighthome. If you look at the Lighthome APK file and you go to More, you go to Properties, you'll see permissions. You need to, if you go to change permissions, you will notice that there is 3 reads and 1 write only. So we'll cancel all that. So now you need to make this new Lighthome the same permissions. You go to Properties, you go to Change, and you're going to uncheck these checked ones. So you have 3 and 1. You're going to say OK. Then you can say Cancel. And now what you're going to do, let me go back. Let me rename this to Old. I always like to keep my files. And now let me rename the new. I'll just backspace. Say OK. So now you have Lighthome. This is the new one, and this is the old one. So you can't have 2 Lighthomes at the same time. So we need to take it, cut it, and then we're just going. I'm going to put it in my download file, and we're going to go paste. And there's the old. It'll pop up. So if you want to go back and double check, now this I just kind of up here, I went back to the Lighthome app. If you want to double check to make sure the permissions kept, you go to Properties, and there's RW minus R minus R minus. So that's kept. Okay. So now that you've changed that, let us clear all. And for that to be active, you need to reboot the system. So let's reboot. Alright, as you can see, this popped up, and we're just going to say Square Home just once. Now if you don't get that pop-up, then you need to install another launcher. And here, let's do this. Let's go home, and let's say Always. That way, in case you don't get that pop-up, let me show you. You want that pop-up is what I'm trying to say, because you don't want to make the Lighthome the default until you make sure it's working. Otherwise, you're going to be screwed. So if I hit the home button, obviously this is the default. Okay, and you can go back into settings and the home app. But let's get that pop-up to pop up. So basically what you got to do is you got to go to the Google Play Store and install another launcher. So this time I'm going to Nova. And I'll just do the trial, because all I want is I want that pop-up, and then I want to see if Lighthome is going to give me an error. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it installed. So now when I hit the home button, I'm going to get a pop-up of which launcher do you want. This time I'm going to pick Lighthome just once. So I'm going to go to the home button, and if you notice, you get the pop-up. Now I'm going to go to Lighthome. Now there's the new Lighthome with the Kodi button and all of this new icons. So now that I see that the Lighthome launcher is working, I can set it as the default, and I prefer to do it myself versus the pop-up, because if I hit the home button again, I get this pop-up. And I'm not going to hit Always, I'm just going to say just once, and I'm going to go myself to make sure that the default is Lighthome. So you're going to go into the gears, you're going to go into Droid Settings, you're going to go into More Settings, and we're going to find Apps, then the gearbox at the top right, and then the Home app, which says no default home. And I'm going to pick Lighthome this time. So now Lighthome should say default. So now when I hit the home button here, it should go right to Lighthome launcher. Let's try it out. Alright, so there's your Lighthome launcher with the new icons and of course the background. So let me show you the background. If you take the remote and you hit the hamburger button or the 3-line button, you will see the 4 backgrounds that you get. And you can then pick and choose which background you want. I just picked this one. Might be a little busy. Let's pick the gray one. See if you can see a little better. You might see that a little better. Okay, so now what you got to do is, there's two buttons that do not work right now. The Kodi button and the File Explorer button. So you need to install two more apps. So let me get rid of these and let me put this and this and that. There we go. So you have to go into the Google Play Store and find Kodi, and you need to go to the Google Play Store and find root browser. So let's go back and let me show you. So you just type in Kodi, you pick Kodi, and you install Kodi. So that's one of them. The next one is this root browser. So you go in here, and you're going to go into, say, root browser classic. That's the exact name. Root browser classic. Then you also need to install one more, is the Google Chrome. So you need to install the Google Chrome also in the Google Play Store. So now with the root browser, the Kodi, and the Google browser, all of the buttons work. So let me show you. I'm going to click on the Kodi button here. Bam. Start Kodi. And there's Kodi. Let me clear all. And now the browser, the Google Chrome, as you can see, Google Chrome works. We'll close that. And the root browser classic, if you click on it, whatever, don't show this again. The problem with this is there's advertisements, but that's what the guy put in and that's what works, so whatever works I'm happy with. We're going to clear all. Now we're going to go back to ES File Explorer. Everybody go back and change your Root Explorer and turn it off so you don't make any mistakes in the future. I just want to bring that to your attention. And clear all, and that's how you get the Lighthome launcher with the Kodi button and all the other icons working. Alright, let's go back to the camera. Alright, my final conclusions to what we just did. Well, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. Everything did work. It was trial and error on my part, and I showed you what did work, so you didn't have to figure out if you like the Lighthome, which Lighthome worked. Focus, there we go. So let me first say, FreakTab is an awesome website. A lot of resources there. They can help with a lot of stuff, and the guy who created that Lighthome is awesome. So I can't say nothing but good things about that Lighthome launcher. The only thing I'm not too crazy about is the third-party apps that you have to use to get the Lighthome to work. That root browser classic. It's got the advertisement and you have to install another app for that to work. Also the Chrome. A lot of people like Chrome. Basic to me was fine. I don't use it that much for browsing, so, you know, it's good enough, I guess. And thank God the Kodi button works, which is very important. Also, the backgrounds to me are a little busy. So I'm concerned about the backgrounds. I want to probably see if I can't add the old backgrounds. I really like this blue of the old background. It has stars, it's blue, and you can see everything in the background. So I might modify this person's APK file. If I do, I will make another video. That's really my number one thing. And maybe I'll go into Freak tab and say, hey, to that person, maybe for a little PayPal beer, maybe you can modify your launcher to put the old backgrounds and the file explorer. I don't know yet. I got to think about that. But anyway, it all works. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.